Let me read to you a passage from the 23rd chapter of St. Matthew's Gospel, verses 23 to 26. It's the Gospel for Tuesday of the 21st week of Ordinary Time. St. Matthew writes, Jesus said, "Woe to you scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You pay tithes of mint and dill and cumin, and you have neglected the weightier things of the law, judgment and mercy and fidelity. But these you should have done without neglecting the others. Blind guides, who strain out the gnat and swallow the camel. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You cleanse the outside of cup and dish, but inside they are full of plunder and self-indulgence. Blind Pharisee, cleanse first the inside of the cup, so that the outside also may be clean." That's from Matthew chapter 23, verse 23 to 26. We are led to think of the matter of secret thoughts. What do I mean? Well, there are many aspects of the life of man's conscience. One aspect which has received sustained attention during the modern era is the freedom of each to act according to his conscience. This is especially pressing in a situation where civil authority is reluctant to allow full liberty of conscience because of what it believes to be its harmful effect on the common good. It is also a great issue within the life of the Church when, for instance, the Church judges the individual conscience to be failing to respect the charism of the teaching authority in the Church to guide the faithful to revealed truth. But there are other aspects of the life of the conscience which have always been critically important. For instance, there is the question of the sensitivity of the conscience to matters beyond and behind observable practices. What do I mean? Well, in many religions in the course of man's history, it is the observance of external rites and regulations which have preoccupied the conscience of religious man. A rule governing a society's behavior is observed, say, the observance of the Sabbath day, or the exclusion of worship of other gods, and the conscience of both individuals and the society is at peace because of this external observance. It could be a rule prohibiting adultery or theft or murder or calumny. Whatever is the issue, the conscience at this stage is satisfied when that rule governing external and especially social behavior is observed. But of course, the action of man does not only encompass external behavior. It originates in and embraces, above all, the inner world of his mind and heart. Man acts when he chooses to judge and when he approves or disapproves interiorly, when he accepts or rejects, whenever he exercises his mind and heart freely, even if society is unable to observe this interior activity. Inasmuch as this interior activity is truly his own and is a product of his own free choice, it is subject to his conscience. In fact, however unobserved by society our secret thoughts and intentions may be, God sees all. All is bare before the constant gaze of God, who sustains all things in being. If anything in any sense exists, it does so only because of the sustaining hand of God. This is one reason why sin is so much of an offense to the infinitely holy God. God sustains us in our exercise of his gift of freedom, and therefore sustains us while we sin. The great God, the holy God, is, as it were, dragged into witness, and with infinite reluctance to sustain, by his act of creation, actions of ours that are morally evil. It is a profound offence to his holiness. The point being made here, though, is that man's conscience must be directed to his secret thoughts and actions, the realm of his inner soul. What this means is that we must remember constantly that we live in the constant presence of God, and our service of Him must especially involve our thoughts and desires. We must strive to be clean and pleasing to Him, not only on the outside, but especially on the inside. The religion of man must especially become a religion not only of external practices, and of course including that too, but of the heart as well. Indeed, it must in the first instance be a religion of the heart, because from the heart proceed both the good and the bad, and in any case God sees all man's secret actions, which are those of his heart. And this is exactly what our Lord condemns in the scribes and Pharisees listening to him. He calls them hypocrites because their observable actions are very different from the action of their hearts. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You cleanse the outside of cup and dish, but inside they are full of plunder and self-indulgence. Blind Pharisee, cleanse first the inside of the cup, so that the outside also may be clean. The religion revealed by God requires a holiness of the heart, not only a holiness of observable behavior. Our Lord's words remind us that the religious person can be a hypocrite. His external behavior can be the opposite of his internal behavior. If this is so, then his internal behavior will vitiate his entire religious practice, for God sees all. We must resolve to live constantly in the presence of God our Father, knowing that He sees our inmost thoughts. We must resolve to please Him in the sanctuary of our hearts. Therein lies the battleground of holiness. It is above all there that we must put on the likeness of Christ, taking to heart the exhortation of St. Paul that we put on the mind of Christ. Let us make this our daily undertaking, to please God above all within.